always. So that's what clued me into something going. I didn't know I was looking at the electromagnetic field, the fucking unified field, and quantum
fucking
theory.
cold.
Because quantum theory is nothing more than scalar physics.
I suggest some of this cable. The man doesn't finish it off. You can feel it. And it's going like that. But I mean, wow. You changed your life. You know, just look at that. And nothing to do with it. But you're going to see, I need to keep my honest ways because I know that you good surveys for magnetic attraction. It's not magnetic attraction because magnetism and magnetism is worth motion. There's no such thing as forces attracting each other.
Alright,
So
so
they can have
this tattooed monkey is the black fucking hole. 2 handheld magnets. That's why we see those in the binary systems all the time. Yeah, he creates a black hole. I've got a couple of videos of it that are this one, of course. And really interesting, folks. That's your galactic.
I think I
So
finally
when you
got
get
my
2
audio
magnetic
better.
stars together, which are
Doesn't sound so echoey
absolutely
tonight.
not what that tells you what they are. They are a matching magnet encased in high carbon material. In other words, an induction furnace. That's what fucking suns are. They're induction furnaces. They're not nuclear fucking blazes going off in effect. Anyway, so when you get 2 of those together, what happens? You create a fucking black hole. Period. Why is the one in the center bigger? Well, fuck, man. Look at all the magnets around the center of the black hole or the center of the galaxy. I go from black holes to working engine models on the same planet. Look what else we've got. The magnet. It's an oscillation. This gentleman here who is from the magnetic, one of the stretch designers, I stuff because there's a manufacturer that can the magnetic and it's moving the back. What engine apply it like that? Just move the magnet back and forth across it, and all of a sudden you got it running. And it picks up speed. You can put a torque converter right there and run any damn thing you want. Now,
how you doing?
Planetary mechanics.
You know one thing all this has proved to me? Einstein was right. Brilliance looks crazy, doesn't it?
Bible canon. It talks about how.
God damn it, Fish. You actually discovered the secrets of the fucking universe and you ain't even fucking thought about it. It's just the fucking way it is. He tried for fucking years. I fucking just laid it down. I was like, look, I was like, fuck, I wasn't even thinking about it. I wasn't even thinking about it. But I'll be damned if we didn't figure out everything from the atomic to the fucking galactic throughout. Reading it on a wall. Are you fucking kidding me? They wrote it down God knows how long ago on a wall. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. When we finally pieced it together and then fucking I was sitting here a couple days ago and realized, oh my God. Again, I've blown my own fucking mind.
If you don't know what I'm talking about,
I don't even know how to deal with it. I don't know how to get it out there. None of that. So I've been hitting up physicists and being like, hey, look. Look, we should really and truly, God, we got the information now to change everything. We got the information to change every fucking thing right now. And it wouldn't take fucking dick to change it. Oh my God. Ta-da! That's how you do that shit. I can't help it. I didn't make perfect. Our creator made perfect sense. I just followed the laws, and I was like, oh, damn, there is fucking design to this creation in there. Oh, well, thank you. It blew my mind. Can I say it blew my fucking mind? I can't even begin to fucking document or even fucking everything I haven't fucking disclosed. Just kind of, if this gets out there, everybody else will figure this out. It's not rocket science. It's actually pretty fucking straightforward nature. And woo. It's a mind bender. It's like, why in the hell hasn't somebody figured this out before? I didn't need Ra to figure all this out. They've had a lot of this information. I got the information, compiled it together, and it makes sense. So I'm going with it. Because we all know Einstein's theory didn't fit everything. Period. Everybody debunked that shit. Debunk this one. Go. Ready? Go. We got it to the fucking frequency. Perfect freaking 1748 hertz. That is fucking incredible. Guarding the planet. Get it? That's how you do it. And Mary agrees. We're going to have a Nova. The box show, we do it every time. Well, I'm listening to it. I want to hear the audio, and I think I actually got the audio finally dialed in too. It's been out all week. Could you tell? It started out fucking screaming and fucking echoey and shit. Somebody got in my shit, or an update fucked it up. Something fucked it up, and I've been working on it all week, trying to be able to hear me. Not a hard thing to look up. I think it worked this time. I've been in my microphone settings 1,000 fucking times resetting this shit, and it just didn't want to be right. I think I finally got it right again. So now I know what settings to put it on next time this happens. Fuck. I don't even know anything about a fucking computer, and I'm figuring out quantum physics. I know how to fix them, but I don't know how to operate these fucking things very well. Obviously, I'm fucking pathetic. My ship was in dry dock. I didn't want to sit around Riverton, Washington. Oh my God, that's right. I have a couple extra. I wanted to go out. I forgot I have some extra ones of these. I should have put that on the other day when I was fighting with that shit forever. Remember, I was using my old one because I didn't have a new one. I had 2 new ones sitting there. I didn't even know. That's all right. I got my old one working. I keep telling you, I'm a fucktard, man. I can't even keep my own shit straight. I don't know how in the hell I stumbled onto this. I got a great big old jump start from a fucking wall, and John helped me figure out the frequency. So I didn't do it by myself. I said Homebrew deserves like half the credit for this, or at least a quarter of it. He deserves some fucking credit for this. He helped me figure it out, the field, the frequency, and all that. I already had the torids and all that shit lined up. I just hadn't put it all together yet. And then 6 months after John brought me the fucking field frequency, boom. And I still hadn't even thought about what I discovered. I just thought it was cool that we have a magnet and we woohoo! You know what I mean? And then the other day we're sitting here talking about it, and I'm like, oh my God, wait a minute. What did we really just do? Fucking amazing. Yeah, my jaw's still on the ground. It's I believe this one is every bit of this is the last thing I ever fucking thought I'd find. I wasn't looking for any of this. I was just looking for why in the hell my moon was doing cartwheels. Honest to God, and then boom, 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 right in the face, man. Fuck. At 10 years. 10 years took to come to this conclusion.
Government, your electric company,
We are fucking beastly creatures and we ain't fucked. Those who oppose us are fucked. Those of us who are awake, one is enough to oppose everybody around. They needed us off this shit and fucking we're on it again. Bing, bada boom. Ain't no coincidence that this happened now. This was definitely divine intervention. I didn't fucking solve all this by myself. Our creator helped a great deal. I'm just saying, there's the information though. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, hey, look, we figured some crazy shit out, and I fucking it needs to get out. Now, Mr. McClellan put out another one, History Worst Days. I wanted to listen to that live tonight. If y'all don't mind. What's on the agenda? I got to put my blue on a stick and I got to shorten up a couple of pawns. I got 3 pawns that were taller than the other ones. My whole set's done, but I'm putting the last final tweaks on it tonight. I'm going to reset these pawns, shrink these 3 down a little bit, and I'll be done. I know. I know. I'm just putting it on record. Fucking amazing. Did you see my dragon? Well, I mean, it's a thumbnail. It's pretty cool. Came out nice. I like it. He's cute. He looks like a little puppy looking up at you. He sits on his tail. I'll show you the 3D version instead of the thumbnail. This is what I made yesterday when I wasn't on camera because I needed to get back into my zone, man. I was fucking pissed and tired. I spent fucking 2 or 3 hours yesterday just fucking reporting people that were harassing my fucking viewers. Somebody come in and say, yeah, I saw the moon upside down. You get 52 to 70, 90 fucking responses from fucking assholes telling you don't know what you're seeing, calling you names and shit. That's not okay. That's not the fuck okay. Well, thank you. It is a couple days early, but thank you very much. I think, isn't it? Yep, it's still a day early for me. Probably not for you, though. I haven't figured that out just yet. Let me do the math. No, it's the day before. I'm on the 29th. My funny enough, my brother, the one that this rich family that adopted me, his birthday is today. Isn't that crazy? There's a lot of coincidences been in my life. I was adopted. They didn't think they could have kids, and then all of a sudden, bam, the day before my birthday, they had one. Everything changed in my life that year. All of a sudden, I was the babysitter, and I got beat for everything that happened to him. I was 4 fucking years old. So there's my dragon. Here's his little horns and everything. He looks like a little baby puppy. He looks like the other dragon I did, but this one's much smaller. And he sits on his butt. He's cute as fuck. So I'm happy with what I did yesterday. I'm happy today. I only got 3 pieces to do. And as I was showing you this, I got one little bit right there. See that? That's sharp. That's where I had a stick on there and I attached that. I forgot to polish it, so I'm going to have to polish that. It has to go back in the kiln, I think. Let's see if I can scratch her off there. Oh, it came right the fuck off. Thank you, thank you. I am very happy with the little baby. Usually my dragons are about that big, but I made a baby dragon. I didn't feel like fighting with my kiln because with my big ones, I have to lift it up and all kinds of shit goes wrong sometimes. Oh, nice. Okay. I make glass beads too. I used to have a bunch of mandrels and do that when I was younger. These here, those are Millefioris. I made my dragon eyes. That pixelation is purposeful. I've got thousands of those because I make it in a long picture, and then I cut little pink, 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 pink in every little section because I make the eye this way. So every little section is a fucking eye. Most glass blowers have no idea how to do that. So I can make some bank making millions. I've never sold any though. I usually give them to my friends. Because I'm a fucking dumbass that way. I'm always trying not to make money. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm dead serious about that. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. I'm always trying my hardest not to make money. The fuck is wrong with you, dumbass? You could have sold that for a bank. But somebody benefits off something I don't need. That's fucking great. That's just, how it goes, right? That's the kind of system we need to be in. I'm telling you right now. We need to be doing that all around. Yeah, well, once you practice something over and over and over again, it gets easy. Even the hard stuff gets easy. Once you do it a few times, anything new is difficult. Yeah, like fucking setting paper on fire and shit. Woo! Directing your energy as well as those gentlemen can. Oh my God, that was amazing. Did you see that yesterday by any chance? Robert Seffer, he put out a video with people harnessing their electromagnetic energy, and it was fucking amazing. And the one guy was saying exactly what I've been saying for a very long time, the one that was shocking people. He's all like, this can heal or this can kill. And that's why I don't dabble with it, because I accidentally fucking figured out I could use it in a way that scared the fuck out of me. I made water move and all kinds of shit. Just like poof. I was like, it scared me. It was very much like one of these fucking demonstrations that homie's doing with the buckets and shit of water. I didn't mean to. It scared the fuck out of me. And I was like, oh my God, you could hurt somebody with this. And I have never done it again. I don't want to hurt myself. I can blow my fucking leg off. Woo. Accidents can happen with this, apparently. This is from a master that has. I know they don't have what we got, of course, because he would be amazingly much stronger but you can't harness mother's power for that kind of demonstration shit. That's not what she's there for. That's not me. You can only use that power, harness that power in defense. Period. So you couldn't do an experiment. But we obviously can add juice to our own magnet, like she does. Okay. Open pathways of energy and fly that shit and fucking pull it back. I've seen it in action. Yeah, I just saw it in action last night. Someone else, a master, fucking doing this shit. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to talk to these guys for about 3 years in a cave. Woo! Yeah, well, the thing is, where they're getting it wrong is they're actually coming from the intent of the brain, and they're making their biology do this. If they knew where to actually center to make this happen and how it happens, they're getting residual side effects. Is what I'm saying. If they knew what I read on that fucking wall, I have a feeling, because homie was telling me how he did it on that video. It had nothing to do with his heart. He doesn't even know how he's making his electric. The other guy was breathing heavily, which is a way to up our magnet. And he was electrostatically affecting that guy. I thought that was fucking pretty amazing. You know, I'd never seen that, although it's very physics. It's exactly what the fuck I would expect to see. So, oh my God, man. Yeah, breathe. Well, that's because you increase your heart rate. Your heart rate gets excited. You get excited. Your brain gets excited because you're actually physically thinking about fucking, you want this to happen. You know, it's human nature. See, we shouldn't really even have to think about it or anything. The reason people have to meditate on it is because we've been trained out of it and said that we can't do it. Everybody should be able to do everything we've seen. If you have a magnet in your chest, you can do everything we've seen. And there's no question. You can have telepathy, all that. It's scalar physics. Everything on the magnets is affected, and all the magnets are affected by what happens on the magnet simultaneously. Faster than the speed of light. Hence, scalar fucking physics, not quantum theory. It's fucking amazing. What? God. I sat here and figured that shit out in my basement. And people want to tell me I don't know what Tycho Crater is. Oh my God. I just today, this guy's, but he's been on me for days. So I finally recorded. I'm like, man, you can't get over this shit. Everybody else is seeing Tycho Crater in their fucking sky. Maybe you just can't follow directions and you're looking at it. As soon as you see the moon at rise and be like, oh, Tycho Crater, isn't it? It is out of place though. It's at 4 o'clock on the face. It should never be there. And then it rolls around to fucking 6 and then all the way up to fucking 10, 11 by set on a full moon. And after the full moon, it rolls more. It'll be up around 2 o'clock in the fucking on the face. You know, there's no fucking question what's going on. We're on our side. It shouldn't be doing it. We should never see Tycho Crater past 6 o'clock. Ever on the fucking North Hemisphere. It doesn't work that way. Why are we seeing it at 4 o'clock at rise? Consistently every day. And it rolls up to 10, 11. It's a 180-degree roll. Now, here's the thing. As it comes on to full moon, because it's on the other side of that sun, coming towards the sun again, from our perspective, that motherfucker's already halfway through its fucking roll when you see it. And it's going to be up around 2 o'clock all fucking the next 2 weeks at that point. Because the roll just keeps getting stronger and stronger. The more you see of it in the later phases. You know, it's a pattern it's been doing for 10 years, you know, and sometimes we change tilt. And like I said, at rise, it's never really been coming up at 4 o'clock until recent. That's kind of new, but it's still rolling 180 degrees and then some after full moon. Last month it did. I'm sure it'll do this month. It's been up around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock every night I've been able to see it at set. But when you tell people at set, they go out there at fucking rise and take a picture and say, oh, look, Tycho Crater. Well, yeah. Tycho Crater is on the bottom. But the funny thing is they're taking a lot of pictures of it at 4 o'clock and it never belongs there in the Northern Hemisphere. Anyways, so they're actually taking pictures of it out of place. But I'm not fucking trying to argue about it. I'm just happy we killed field rotation. Fuck's sake. That shit was 7 years of hell. Like, what do you mean field rotation? And they would never describe anything except for fucking random fucking bullshit. And it's like, well, anything they said field rotation about, all of a sudden made it a fucking question. Well, field rotation's out the fucking question. We got Tycho Crater. We got motherfuckers all over the goddamn moon where it shouldn't be. We got a defined wiki spot where it should be. We got Dazzle saying it should never be over that point. And it's on both sides of that point. All over the fucking moon. So yeah, that debate's over. We just figured out goddamn quantum physics and fucking unified field theory. What the fuck are you fighting about Tycho Crater for? No, that shit's over. I just, I didn't get into this to discover any of this. I got into this to warn people and to give you something to look at. That hasn't changed, even though I figured out the unified field theory and proved it. Okay, just that's what I'm saying. My job is still to save human beings. We can understand the unified field, but without human beings, what the fuck good is it gonna do? I ain't got no answer for that. Well, I've been having people tell me, get on with your magnetosphere stuff. And I'm like, you need to go somewhere else and watch that. Because that's not what this channel is about. My channel is about showing people stuff they can look at with their own eyes. I don't want them to believe me. But I want them to understand that things are out of parameters, normal parameters. And things can be explained. And it's not a time to fear. That's what my channel is about, period. Now, whether we discover the meaning of fucking life and shit, which we did, it's pretty much accidental and subsequential and fucking a bonus. So we got a lot of bonuses out of this. See, I don't need a donate button. It keeps me straight. I don't get it. Yvonne, if you gave me $1,000 a week, I'd be more lenient towards you, would I not? I mean, just out of human nature, I'd be thinking, oh, I can't piss off Yvonne. You know what? I don't give a fuck if I piss you off or not, Yvonne. It's up to you to learn this shit. See? And that keeps me very fucking straight. I like that. So don't expect to see a donate button on my fucking channel. Human nature. That's right. This can't involve human nature. That's what I've always said. This has to come from fucking physics, and if it doesn't come from physics, it doesn't exist. And it led us to all this unexpected. I'm just trying to show magnets and shit and how things work because I understood all that, and it started incorporating to the galactic and atomic frequencies, and read it on the freaking wall with 1748 hertz. And that gave us a big clue because the human body reacts to that, magnets react to that, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, they didn't tell us that was what we were looking at, but they gave us a frequency and they showed us energies. And from that, I figured out, oh, wow, we've got a heart magnet. And everything started falling into place. I was like, holy cow. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. Woohoo. That's attractive. People might want to fucking look at that and then look at their moon because of it, of course, and that's gonna help save their lives. Like I said, I don't really give a fuck about field and proving Einstein's theory and stuff. I'm more worried about human souls and their lives and Mother Earth and the life on that. Creation, our creator, all that. Our job, our stewards. I'm more worried about that. That's what's more important. Because we can get on with all that stuff. We don't even have to have a name for it. It's the creation field, and we ride on it, and we get our electric and our motivation from it. And I mean, like, poof, we're flying. This is human nature, and we need to get back to it. Because I think it's beautiful. Everyone's like, what, we're going to live in a cave? Says who? Says who? Did you see what we discovered over here? You can put two magnets with a fucking cold water and light a fucking light bulb. I've seen Ken do it with two magnets. He clamps together like that with a wire in there. He didn't coil the wire. He just put the wire in there, lit a little LED. This guy's lighting a whole fucking light bulb with a fucking wrapped coil. And I'm like, that's a better method. And it's the same method. It's two opposed magnets. You could actually electrify those magnets and make them stronger, probably melt that fucking coil. You know what I'm just saying? You could You could self-regulate once you get the fucking power going in the fucking thing. It could self-regulate and make itself stronger, so it could produce more power. I mean, they're just so we all of a sudden we could reach the stars if we wanted to, like the Anunnaki. But I suggest not, because that requires human frequency generators and all that shit. Why not just travel there naturally, like, and acclimatize to the planet through nature? Poof, through a fucking love circle like these natives have gotten here by. And I totally believe that's how they got here. They say that's how they got here. That's how they got here. I know the mechanics of it now. So do they. Some of them have approached me about it, and we discussed it. Like I say, and I approached the others by being a nosy little white boy or pink motherfucker. And just calling everybody. Yes, that's our calm, very calm. That's our first. That's we. Yes, it's step one. Learning how to calm your magnet, giving it to the control of it to Mother Earth, so she can hold you and you don't fly into the air. For one, so she can protect you with it acutely. I don't know how yet. Yeah, that's meek. That's truly meek. It's like, holy shit. You mean I've got a living planet that knows my magnet better than I do? All yours, baby. That's how hard meek is. But you got to know it. You can't do that if you don't know this shit. See, there's a problem there. Without this knowledge, my people will surely die. And I keep saying that and keep saying that and keep saying that, and people just don't get it. I don't think. Because I don't see too many people on fire like me. I really don't. And I judge people by what I do. Because I'm just a person too. I've changed the world how many fucking times by myself, simultaneously, just by myself. You guys can each and every one individually do this too, but we choose not to in general. That's that's where we are. That's like I got 3 or 4 a day. Be like, I've looked at your videos and I just don't understand it. Who is this raw character? You ain't watched any of my. You might have watched the last 2 or 3, maybe. So I'll give them the. How did I prove the sky is blue? Or rather, shit, I gave half the fucking information away. But everybody knows the sky is blue. Usually I said, how do I prove what color the sky is and why? If you don't know that, you haven't seen my fun facts videos, which includes some amazing creation fucking information. Now, the sky being blue isn't very hard, isn't very technical at all. It breaks down to the fact that the oxygen molecule is blue. So is liquid oxygen coming out of a tank. Pure oxygen. It's fucking sky blue. And I show demonstrations on that shit. I've known because I work with liquid fucking oxygen. I'm an alchemist. I know these things. That's how. So yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, it's fucking amazing. You're looking through miles of fucking oxygen molecules. Fucking blue. If we had more CO2, it'd be green. Ta-da. Pretty much that simple. That's how they can tell from far away what a planet's atmosphere has in it, because they can read a light spectrum coming through that atmosphere and be like, oh, look, it has this gas, that gas, this gas. We can do that. That's how NASA does it. So somebody looking at us be like, look at all that fucking oxygen. It's all fucking blue. Yeah, carbon is That's not what we need to worry about. It's the petrochemicals, actually. I'm more concerned about petrochemicals and radiation when we don't need any of that. We don't need no mama juice. We don't need no reactivity. We got magnet. We do not need anything nuclear at all. We got magnet. Throw that fucking nuke in the trash. Fucking dismantle it before it goes bad. Take it down. We can replace this shit with simple, never moving part magnets that just sit there and generate fucking electricity out of our creator's field at 1748 hertz. That simple. We could create more energy than we ever needed. Free. Damn near. Price of a fucking big magnet and some copper wire. Works for me. You never have to run it. You never have to fuel it. You never have to coal it. You never have to oil it. You never have to nothing. You just sit it there and hook up to it. We are there now. We are there now. We're there now. See, this is the part of it. It's been discovered, uncovered, and revealed. Run with it. Change the world. I can't. I did. I began. I started the spark. I proved it. Here it is. Give it to somebody like an engineer, a designer. I don't know. Give it to a fucking professor. I've been giving it to professors today. I don't know what else to do. I don't know how to design these things. I find people that can design them. I found a couple of working models that are rickety, but they work. I mean, if you can put it together with metal and an engine and design that and fucking make a tractor run, woohoo! I can't. I don't know anything about that. I'd have to study fucking general mechanics and shit, and that's not me. I don't have any knowledge on that. So yeah, I've done my part to save the world and change it, completely change the world. We need no pollution. We need no fighting. We need no nothing. We have the secrets of the universe. We're magical at 1748 hertz, and it's not magic. It's all magnet. It's fucking amazing. So yeah, it should be honest to God. This should really, 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 really change the world, even if we just lived in a single sun system. Yeah, making kindness, kindness where it needs to be. I like the meat. It's pretty frank, pretty to the point, and it's pretty. Yeah, I ain't got nothing to do with it, so fuck off. This is mama and daddy. You don't like it? I didn't make the rules. To me, that's meek. It doesn't mean anything about being nice to people. It's just fucking being matter of factual because that's something most people aren't. And I think, honest to God, how is that not being nice to people? Like I said, if I was being overly nice to you because you was giving me $1,000 a week, wouldn't be doing either one of us a favor, would it? Because you wouldn't know shit. And I benefit from each human being that fucking understands. Every one of us benefits from each human being that gets this in their heart. So I wouldn't benefit either if you didn't. Only when you benefit do I. See, that's fucking my donate button. And that's how we need to live. Period. Always. We're fucking cooperative beings on a planet going through hell, and we need to fucking stop it. And it's all up to us. I used to be awkward socially, but once empowered with actual knowledge like this, I can't help but just be a loudspeaker when I go into fucking public. Literally. It ain't just you I talk to. I don't just make videos. I go out and show real people that I interact with the moon. I'm telling you, you should see my GoPro. I should get one. But you shouldn't be going out doing this shit unless you have it in your heart, like the back of your hand, because you don't want to tell somebody something that's not right about it. I don't. I've been very careful with what I come out with, because some of this is just extremely insane, like making water explode. How could I have told you guys that until I saw a working model of it, homie doing it? And I'm like, oh my God, this is why I'm telling you we could hurt somebody with this. And I can't teach anybody how to do it yet. How you doing, Mary? Because I don't know how to do it yet. Mainly. How's that? I mean, I do accidentally, but you heard the guy. You can kill somebody with this. I'm not gonna fuck with it. I'm not never gonna fuck with it until I know what I'm doing or have somebody teaching me how to fucking harness that shit or direct it. I know how to harness it. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people view me bold and rude, and I do too. I'm pretty bold and rude. I can be absolutely bold and rude. That's one of my better traits, actually, stronger traits. And I shock people out of their fucking system, and then I hit them with a fucking fact. And what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do then? You can see that's how I've gotten things done all my life, and it's just my nature. It ain't like I ever thought about it. It's just this is observation of 50 fucking years. I know how I act. I see opposition to truth, and I attack it in a fucking extremely intellectually violent manner, and leave you laying there fucking like a fucking bowl of jello with a whole bunch of fucking knowledge that you have to fucking sort through. That's how medical marijuana become legal in a lot of places, you know, because I wasn't hearing it. I was not hearing rhetoric. I wouldn't allow it in the conversation. And that's one thing I hate about this. We have to agree to disagree shit. Suck a dick. Things are this way or they're not. In my life, I found that is the truth. So you can have an opinion about a fact, but that ain't going to change the fact. See, and that's what this whole agree to disagree shit is about. Opinions. Everybody can have one, but you have a fact that's not going to change regardless of how anybody feels about it in general. A large glass pot, 18 by 18. My God, Mira. My kiln ain't that big, huh? Unfortunately. I don't have that big of a kiln. It's just teeny inside. It's a 13 by 13 by 9. I can only put 9 inches tall inside my kiln. Unfortunately. Sorry. I don't have a big kiln to do that. I wish I did. But if I spent $5,000 on a fucking kiln I don't have and fucking we turned upside down tomorrow, the fuck was I thinking? Yeah, people do live in delusion. Well, you have yourself a good evening. I am going to turn on our buddy. He's got a new one I haven't heard yet. Or maybe I have. Maybe I listened to this morning, but it's a good one anyway. History's Worst Days. I'm looking at the picture, but I think that's a picture off a different one. We'll see what happens because he just came out with this. And I've been sleeping most of the day. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me today. I couldn't get out of bed. Well, I did. I got out of bed, ran, got a new tank of oxygen. I did all kinds of shit. But as soon as I got home, man, I had to lay back down. Couldn't sleep. Then fucking next thing I know, I'm waking up. Maybe some coffee, and here we are. I don't really have a lot to do tonight. Said I need to adjust these chest pieces. I got 3 of them. The pawns need to be shorter. They're taller than the rest of the pawns. Want to get my blue shit on a stick. Make a couple pipes out of that. Just fuck around, basically. Glass Santa sleigh. Huh. I could do that in several different ways. I could do it in inexpensive ways and hugely expensive ways. Glass can be inexpensive or expensive coming from the same artist if they're a good artist. Because you can think of different ways to do things, but less detailed or more detailed, it just, you know, you've seen me do stuff. I mean, for example, this pipe costs a hugely different amount than my little solid collar ones that I make. My little solid colored pipes, they sell for like $10. These guys here sell for at least 45 in a lot of places. So there's a huge difference there. It's like 4 times the amount of money. But it also takes about 2 hours to make one of these. And that's cheap. Cheap as fuck for a heady piece. People would they'd be charging you 50, $60 for that shit easily. And I just don't because I'm a little quicker at it. I can make a bunch of them at a time. Well, good. I'm glad that it helped you. That's you see, that's why I do this stuff. I keep telling people, I say, I do this for you. I have this knowledge. And I would be a demon if I held it. I wouldn't be any better than an Illuminati fuck, would I? And the Illuminatis didn't even have this information, some of it, of course. And I'm giving it to them too. Yeah, like I said, I had to have last night make my dragon and then just sit and fucking rest. I had to get some sleep. I've been fighting demons for a long time and I just won a victory that I didn't see coming. We can start waking people up in mass, I think, without questions, especially now that, I mean, this has been brought to light. That'll get people's attention, don't you think? It's just, I'm trying my hardest to wake people up, and all of a sudden, this whole fucking discovery shit came to light, and I think it's there to help. I can't think of any other reason why we would know these things. It has to be divine intervention leading us here. And I can't keep that to myself. I think you'd share it too if you'd have been running into this shit, don't you? Hi, Jacqueline. Well, I have a policy, Yvonne. I won't talk about anything if I can't explain it to a kindergartner and show them how it works. That's why I'm not showing you guys how to do what we saw these masters doing. I scared myself with it by accident. And then I just heard last night from a pro, you can kill somebody with this shit. I knew that we could. I told you how many times we can literally heal bones within minutes or blow that fucking leg right off the fucking patient. And I don't want to be that guy by accident. So I'm not going to fuck with it. I'm not telling people how to do it. Period. But I have it. You do too. I had to accept it a little bit ago, Mara, that I was accidentally brilliant. Well, look, I mean, that goes a long way to explaining why everybody thinks I'm crazy. Einstein said it best. Brilliance looks insane. Well, that's because we're dealing in the magic over here. That isn't magic, it's physics that we've not understood for a long time. Now we do. It sure is. What, you want to see the dragon again? I just showed the dragon, cat. Where the hell were you? Look, lady wanted me to drag the dragon out again. All right, I'll drag dragon out again. He's cute. He's fucking cute. Well, good morning, cat. Well, I've just started realizing what I did, Mira, a couple days ago, by accident, of course. I had never set forward to do this, but here we are. Thank God, our Creator, that we've got all these answers. Because without this knowledge, my people will surely die. You got to know who to be meek to and how to be meek. Relax that magnet and shit. That's what's important. Um, this isn't really complicated, so it wouldn't need a real course in. Some aspects of it might need a course in Harvard, but this is stuff we should all know about ourselves, pretty much, because we are included in that field of relativity to everything. Fucking amazing. Female trouble. What's up, Mike? Let me bring on the baby. He's just a little baby dragon. He's even smaller than my elephant. Elefante. Ah, here's his cute little puppy dog eyes. Oh, he's just a cute little dragon with his ears back and shit. So he's got little horns on him and wings. He'll sit like this. He look like a cute little puppy dragon. And he's got a little rig attachment on him. His eyeballs are extremely detailed. I do those in Millefiori form, where it's much like a Fimo clay, where I make the eye long and then I cut little sections. Every little wafer is an eye. Same picture all the way down. So I get 1,000 eyes when I make one. I could make a bank off of just making these, but I don't. Like I said, I've never sold one. I've given them away to my friends and stuff. But cute little dragon, and he's definitely functional. You can put a little bit of water in it if you wanted to, and bubble up right there in the corner. He's got a nice little restriction for doing rigs and stuff. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I love my little dragon. He's beautiful. I made one that was very similar that Anna has, and I was thinking, if she still got it. The last time I was there, she did. That would look fucking awesome sitting right next to it, her little baby dragon. Yeah, sorry I had to do that by myself, but I needed to get into my zen. I couldn't have sat around and fucking talked and got back into my head space where I needed to be. I had to fucking just get into my zen, do stuff, be alone for a while in my dungeon. As you could tell, I was a little bit rattled yesterday. These fucking trolls coming out of nowhere. It wasn't just Daz. Multiples coming around all over. You saw it. You saw what was going on. There was like fucking 90 comments on one, and every one of them was very insulting to each and every one of you. I thought it was fucking hideous what I was watching, just because we're looking at the fucking moon. So I'm glad that ended. And probably shouldn't be happening too much anymore. Apparently, it's stopped and or slowed down. I've seen a lot of his comment sections are closed now. Like yesterday, I haven't looked and seen if that motherfucker's even making videos today. I don't give a shit. I haven't seen him, Eric Briggs, anybody over here saying nothing, so I'm gonna leave them over there. I will keep an eye on Daz's channel because I don't believe everything I hear. I need to see it. If I see fucking shit continuing out of there, I'll continue to fucking report it and make it stink. Watch me. This needs to end, and the only reason it doesn't is because we don't do anything about it. We just accept it as the normal thing when you log online, someone to violate your fucking rights because they're paid to by the government. No more, man. Stop. Stop accepting that. Somebody harassing you, fucking report it. If they don't get the fucking point and they keep going and going and going and going, look at their profile. They're probably a fucking troll, and they very well may have been made that day. I found 4 or 5 of them yesterday that were made that week, this week, or last week, within the last week. And they're probably the same people. Daza and the astronomy guy, because they sound like them. Glass fruits. Well, I do, Mira, but the problem is here, hon, I gotta make rent. That's what, see, I gotta make rent in a couple of days. See, I can make glass fruit. You gonna buy it? You gonna send me money? It's gonna cost you probably 10 times the amount of the glass fruit to get it shipped there, is the problem. Because I'm shipping something to Katniss and it costs damn near the amount of the fucking elephant itself to ship it there. It's fucking nuts. Just letting you know. You know, I say I want to charge about $80 for the elephant, and it's fucking 64 to fucking or 61, some shit like that to ship. I almost fell down. Almost, and that's just regular mail. Although if you buy regular mail, it goes express, which is fucking amazing. And she's in the UK. Yeah, anything in the United States is a lot cheaper than that. I usually actually cover the postage. See, that's always been my policy. If you guys send me a postal money order, I'll go to the post office, they cash it. I can cash it right there, and I'll use that money to send your box off. And that it's only like 99 cents at that point for you to buy the money order. You know, and I pay the fucking $6 to $12. Some of them cost $12 to send. But I've never run into anything that expensive. I almost fell down. Like, holy shit. And I felt so bad telling you, Kat. I was like, my God, I don't even know how to express this and my upsetness of it. How much they want just to send a little fucking elephant to you. I'm like, it's fucking crazy. Maybe I'm too cheap. See, I can charge you $300 for the fucking elephant, which most people, honest to God, would. But I didn't have that much actual work into it, did I? You know, it took me a few hours to do a little bit of material. That's how I'm charging. That's how I charge people. Period. But that elephant, that's $300 item. Anybody's store, minimum, minimum. You can't find sculpted glass like this. It's very rare. I've seen little Barney the dinosaur looking fucking chunky, squared out dragons for $1,700. Okay, and that gives you a little scope of how cheap the fuck I am. I'm not looking to get rich. I never have. I could. I could be several times over, but I don't want to be. That's not ever, ever, ever been the important thing. You know what's been important to me? I can pay my rent, keep my house out, feed my kid. That's it. But the rest of my time should be spent with my son. Yes, it's Eric the Elephant. Glass is extremely expensive. It really is. It really is. And that's why I try to make it for the working person because a lot of people just can't fucking afford $1,000 for a set of goblets so you can bake a cupcake in. I can make that same set for fucking $7,500. You know, look, I just made a full chess set that someone's gonna fucking love. Probably pay $300 for it instead of 3,000. You know? Yeah, well, everybody's got their own talent. This isn't really a talent. It's just something I loved and I got to learn how to do in a very prestigious school for free by helping out somebody. And I've never looked back. And I've been practicing it since 1993. So it's called a lot of practice got me here. Skill. Yeah, it's a lot of practice. It got me here. I've made so much glass. There's been days I'll blow glass like nonstop for 20 hours without talking to anybody. Like I was, it's been my life before Seamus came around. And between him, I've been blowing glass every moment I can. You know, he's in bed now. This is usually when I work. And I'll sleep early in the morning and fucking get up with him. And 'cause I only need about 4 or 5 hours sleep. And we'll have a day. I've been homeschooling him his whole life. I'm continuing homeschooling him even though he's in high school. He hasn't been in high school all year. Yes, I can. Well, thank you. Yes, I can. And I have before. I've made little cherry pendants and all kinds of neat little things. My heart pendants go quicker. I should make some of those this week. Some of my little smashed hearts. Some, those go pretty quick for me, and they sell fast too. Yeah, I've really happy I homeschooled Seamus. And that's all I got to really say about that. I don't think there's any need to go into detail about that. Fucking, he's suck. Kids are like a sponge, man. They'll suck up that energy. They'll suck up the information. They'll suck up anything you give them. So just keep in mind they're a sponge, though. When you squeeze them, put a little stress on them, whatever you put in them's coming out. So put good things in your kids. Um, What do you want to see me make? I'll try to figure something to make it what's functional that I could sell. That way you could see me make a piece of fruit. I can make a dragon. I can make a fucking piece of fruit. I can make a piece of fruit fucking beautiful. It doesn't look anything like the color of its fruit, but the skin of it, the shape of it would be. But I could make an apple look like that. I could. For an example, or a cherry or a banana. I could stack a banana with all kinds of little fucking nifty little sections of glass and make a banana out of it. What do you want to see? I mean, I could make you $1,000 banana. And I could make you a $20 banana. See, literally, I really could. I need a price point and I need a fruit. Keeping in mind, you're probably going to spend that much fucking getting it to you. And the size, it depends too. How big do you want? I can only get 13 by 13 by 9 in here. Make a pomegranate. Those are easy. Unless, of course, you're talking about a cut pomegranate. Then I'm going to fucking be, that's going to be a different project. Do either one. And I could do either one in a whole myriad of price ranges, from the cheaper to the more expensive, for example. Grapes, yeah, I've made grapes. Half fruit pieces. Yeah, but how much you gonna want to spend on these? See, and you got to figure in the shipping and all that too. Well, my dear, that would require me to pull out this fancy shit then, wouldn't it? Where the hell to go? It's laying up here somewhere. I got my dichroic. I could do something like that. I could do something like that. I could do a whole set of fruits like that for $10,000. Kidding me? Yeah, I could do that. I would need a deposit and a security on that shit for something like that. Materials are expensive, and I ain't got that kind of money. I'd need a specified order, how big, and what fruits, and stuff like that. I could make you a whole cornucopia with the fruit in it if you wanted. You know what a cornucopia is, right? Uh, uh, it's like a basket almost, but it's in a horn shape that they used to hold things, called cornucopia. So give it a thought. I mean, I literally, I am limited by your imagination in what I can do, because this is 3,200 degrees and it turns to honey. So I could form anything. And if you're hitting for 10,000, I can hit under your price range. I'll tell you that right now. I can hit under your price range and you will be able to sell that shit for 10 grand. Yes, about 3 hours difference. Move on. Colorado to Florida, I believe, is actually 2 hours. Good. Then you can come visit me, Mira. That'd be interesting. I'd like to meet you. When you come in the U.S., yeah, it's 1 o'clock now. So it's 2 hour difference, Yvonne. I just swerved you. I kind of blew my own mind with that little tidbit I put out today. I was like, holy fuck. I mean, we made that realization sitting right here in this basement a couple days ago. I was like, you know what we've actually been doing accidentally? we can uh we can make those trailers, them tractor trailers run on fucking magnets, I think we should make it happen. The information's out now. Now you guys have it. See what happens when you don't hold this shit? Now everybody got it. The whole world should change. Nice, doesn't? Yeah, well, I've got a video on my other page there with a pink penis pipe. It isn't realistic. It's just pink. I'm like, yes, I blow cock for a living. I think is the name of it. Yeah, it's cold as fuck here too. Still. Yeah, go check out your moon. I just looked at mine a little bit ago, a couple hours ago, or an hour or two ago. It was normalish. It was still fucking way over there too. Tomorrow, not today. I'll be on the road on my birthday. I like to torture myself on my birthday. 12-hour road trip. Go sell glass. Honestly, it's my least favorite part of my fucking job. So I figured I'll knock that out on my birthday. I might not. I might just put it off because I don't like the cold, and it's just fucking cold. I usually wait until the temperature is a decent temperature, and then I'll make my Denver trip. I'll be like, all right, I'm coming today. People are like, fuck, gathering together what they can for me. Uh, I don't know. We'll see. I gotta make calls tomorrow. Nice. Well, happy birthday to me. You looking up while walking your dog? Be careful of the stop sign there. Oh, I'm tired as fuck. I've been tired all day. My sleep schedule's off because I've been doing this late at night, working down here and having my day with Seamus. And then next thing you know, I'm fucking up till like fucking 5 in the morning. You bet. Any day. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I can't help it. I'm tired. I could go to bed right now, but I got work to do. Like I said, I got rent to pay. Hmm. Oh, I got enough glass in my case to do it, but I need more glass than that so I can make sure I do it. The more you have, the more you sell. That's a rule. At this point, the only thing I know for sure I have sold is that chess set. Chess set ain't covering rent. It'll come close. So I need other glass. That's why I've been blowing little pipes and pendants. She wants a bunch of pendants and shit, the mushrooms and stuff like that. Excuse me. But yeah, I need to go see Anna. Yeah, I wanted to do it before the first. She'll be busy on Halloween. I know that. You got enough glass beads to last you the rest of your life. Me too. I know this guy. Well, she wants stuff like this. Little pendants and things that she can sell. Because all my pendants are gone from, and I made her a bunch of pendants once, or well, a few times. Every time I make them, they sell after a couple months. She doesn't have a single one. I made her a batch of pendants this week. Little jellyfish. Detailed jellyfish. And a whole crap ton of little mushrooms. Because these sell like crazy. Everybody was fighting over the toilet paper. That killed me too. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with people? I went and got some cookies and chips and milk. Saw the toilet paper, I was gone. I was like, damn. Yeah, I figured, I could use my money as toilet paper. Just get some ones going on. You got plenty. Shit. Yeah, Sears catalog, phone book I never use. All kinds of toilet paper around here, but I'd prefer just take a fuck shower. It's better than a bidet. When I was younger, I don't remember who it was, but I heard somebody talking about shit on their hand. And it was like, what do you do when you get shit on your hand? Because they was talking about bidets, basically. See, I really like them fucking Italian bidets. It was fancy. And don't think I'm gay. Let me ask you something. What you do when you get shit on your hand? Do you wipe it off with a piece of paper or do you wash that motherfucker? I was like, I wash that shit. I'm gonna wash my ass from now on too. No, the dragon doesn't have a butthole. He didn't need a carburetor. Use the wet wipes. See, I love those things. I haven't used them since Seamus grew out of them, but I discovered that too. I was like, oh wow, this is nice. Of course, you want to wipe your ass a little bit at the toilet. I had run out of some that day, and I was like, well, looky there. I was like, that works pretty good. Yeah. Hey, what the hell? Yeah, same difference. It's got a little bit of soap on it. Shit, you wipe your ass, man. But yeah, I tend to do that all in the morning. I'll take care of all that, Navy stuff, shit, shower and shave all at once. Well, I'm ready to go in the morning. It depends on where you get them. Now, I don't know about it less expensive. They're probably a little bit more expensive in the long run, but you can get them at the fucking Dollar Tree for $1 a pack. 20 years, 21 years on a carrier. I'm sure he knows the moon ain't supposed to be upside down, Yvonne. I bet you he knows that like the back of his hand. He'd be like, what the fuck is Tycho Crater being up there? Yeah, Dollar Tree. I like Dollar Tree. Fucking love Dollar Tree. Oh, okay. Yeah, he had to know navigation by heart. Absolutely. If his instruments failed, he had to know how to get home himself by those fucking stars and the moon. He had to know where he was. Yep, Robert. Big toilet humor. You know, typical shit over here. Hmm. I'm fixing to actually get up and do stuff. I want to listen to our boy. Where's the new one? Ken McClellan.
Welcome back to Enzymes in Creation. I thought today we might talk about.
I'm gonna go see if I can't see mine. Moon has a halo. From the washer real quick. Yeah, it's high in the sky, fucking above my tree. I can kind of see it through the tree. Whew, not very good though. Looks like Tycho's about 9 o'clock right now on the face. It's got a few hours before it sets tonight. So it's definitely going to go over 10 o'clock again. Whew, it's already to the west. Where's your Tycho crater? Brr. Good night, Jacqueline. Keep calming that chest. Give it to Mama. She knows what to do best better than I do. Fucking chilly. Yeah, right before set. But where's Tycho? Is it at the top on yours or where's it at? You're too blurry to see it. Are the bunny ears at the bottom? Tycho's at the top. Because the Tycho's like right at the bunny butt. It's real easy to see. But yet the moon is too bright to see Tycho crater. It all looks bright at this point. But I know where Tycho Crater is. It's right on the edge of that fucking bunny butt. Or, well, the pot of elixir. And I always call it the bunny's tail because it looks like a bunny's tail when it, when you're looking at it, it's kind of bright. It looks like a little white bunny tail. It's really easy to see. Usually, unless the moon is fucking bright white, like it has been the last few months. But you can make out the lava fields up there, the fucking bunny ears. You can see those because they're dark. Well, good, Yvonne. That's all I've ever asked anybody to do. Not believe me. You need to check out actual professionals, not as a cameraman, not me, that show you how to navigate with that moon and lunar phase and how it works. It should never roll 180 degrees. I don't care where Tycho is. It should never roll 180 degrees. And that, when I've said that, they've always used field rotation at me. And like I said, that argument's over. Field rotation is not a thing. I'm telling you right now, that thing should never rotate 180 degrees. And from what Daz has said, even the parameters, he only gave us fucking 90 degrees movement anyways. That's great. Every night it's moving 180 degrees. Awesome. Yeah, that's how you should. Yeah, well, you're old enough to understand. That's how you learn things because that's what you're doing. That's fucking beautiful. I've never ever asked anybody to believe me. Just observe. Look, it's right there in your sky. So yeah, I'm so happy nobody has to believe anything I say because I can prove everything I say. And like I said, that kind of accidentally led to hi unified field theories done. Let's put that behind us now. What we got? Send me a better troll. See, I spent my whole fucking life. I'm like, all right, we got that out of the way. Let's go do something else. Woo! What needs fixing now? Yes, the hieroglyphics do. Well, they're the reason I discovered half of this shit. They showed me we had a magnet, and at 1748 hertz, we would be doing these things, exchanging energies with each other. We could grow our own strength. I mean, that's a powerful thing when you get goosebumps. That's coming straight from your magnet. It's that's a magnetic force going through your body that usually is at a resting period. And when you're fucking juicing it up like that, it's like poof. All of a sudden, you're if you focused that shit, you might start catching paper on fire or blowing someone's leg off. And it's just human nature. That's the amazing thing about it. That blew me. I had a magnet all this time and I didn't know it. That's almost the thing pisses me off the most. What led me to hieroglyphics? Do you know the WSO channel? Go get on YouTube and look for WSO Eye of Ra on Go's interview. At 33.3 minutes, here's that number, into the film or into the interview, I would check out, go to WSO channel on YouTube and look for Eye of Ra on Go's interview. WSO Eye of Ra on Go's. That's me. That's the first time I ever saw that hieroglyph. 33.3 minutes into that film. I wasn't looking for it. Bobby Maverick, Relentless Maverick, brought that to the interview. I had never seen one before, a real one, outside of the Mummy movies or like Lost Art, Raiders of Lost Ark shit. I had never looked at Egypt, and there it was. I'd seen everything on that Stella before I'd ever seen it, and I read it right there. Now, Steve that next day brought on Blue Kool-Aid and started talking about giant planet-sized spaceships, and his handlers on the channel said that was too much fucking information, and they needed to throw out Blue Kool-Aid, who has become, I believe, Wages World now. Second or third time he's changed his fucking name because he's a piece of shit that never looked at a magnetosphere before in his life, has never had any kind of education on a magnet, and he's out there with fed 100,000 subscribers from the misinformation fucking highway that I was just fighting the last few days. Daz is just a little part of it. There's people out there doing magnetospheres called Wages World that is built up by the WSO channel, and WSO channel is funded and funds by Bobby's own admission, even him and Oppenheimer Ranch, Donnie and Danny, and all these other people are in this misinformation circle. Now, what kills me is Donnie at Daytona started talking about the moon upside down. Now, I've given him that fucking 1,000 times. I've given all of them that 1,000 times, but it's kind of funny. He came out and said something the last couple of days. I was like, yeah, it's fucking cool. I've always said, if these guys start fucking giving information, I'll tell you to go look at them. I haven't even looked at what Donnie said. But as I understand, he's talking about the moon upside down. Go check it out. I ain't had time to. And I just don't go looking at other people's shit a whole lot. That's why, Ken here, he's an exception to the rule because he's more archaeology. I'm into the archaeology part of it because I want to see all these things we were writing. Look at what the fucking first thing I deciphered led us to. This. Because, like I said, it shows the energy and fucking has that metal plate, 1748 hertz and shit. It led to the actual discovery of all this stuff. Just looking at that little bit on that one picture. And then after that, I started, of course, looking at Egypt. And then I realized it's not just Egypt, it's Peru, it's South America all over the place, it's Brazil, it's India. India, we were writing the same things. China, everywhere I've seen all these old, ancient, fucking stone carved things, they're the same story with the same Ra, but he's depicted a little bit differently. But he's always got the dingly cobra. Universal language, because it's universal law of physics. That's why it was such a global. You couldn't do it any other way. You can put a little flair to it, but it still looks like the same shit because it's physics. It's fucking amazing what we were doing. We were brilliant. No rest for the wicked. You too, Kat. Have a good one. Stay safe. I need to tone down my. I can't even get on this shit. Anyway, on with it. I want to hear Ken and see what he has to say here.
I guess time's coming. We mentioned that this period of God's thus far slow warm up to apocalypse could continue for a bit, so things look appreciably different than, say, 10 years ago when our journey began.
Sure does.
For example, today was the fire in Irvine over the Santa Ana Mountain. I recall an 11-year-old prophecy that said, black will flow and cover us with fire. Indeed, it has.
Yep.
Winds were anywhere from 12 miles an hour up to 70, depending on where you were and the time of day. Certainly not the best way to contain a California fire. Anyway, the rocks here, I believe, are called xenolith. Plasma has hit a rock that's gone molten, and that absorbs another rock. And the top one is from Kentucky. The bottom one is from the River Thames at low tide. Both are really, really old, and both were kept by the ancients to explain what happens here between the two syzygies of the apocalypse. The rock to the right was carved by predecessors to the Maya and Aztec to tell the exact same story. I wasn't going to buy it unless it told the story of Khan, the great dark serpent god. Someone named this continent Amaruka after the land of Khan, who became an evil big brother in the book of Genesis because he killed the sun for 3 days, but we can talk about that another time, I suppose. The letters are Mayan. C is for the 3 teeth of stars of creation. A is the eye. N is the symbol for Jupiter as the little serpent, not the dragon of Revelation. He also has a triple set of claws or teeth here in the Americas. The dates compare Noah's flood to the one expected to close this Ahau, provided it waits longer than did its November predecessor. The thing to remember about what is coming is that it doesn't arrive all at once.
Yep.
For example, right now the 3 stars of creation are gathering together, and so it feels like March when the world really begins to respond to the sun in the morning and the evening. The universe is sort of a difference engine, so winds are stirred up by the light, pulling it up the mountains in the morning and down the mountains at night, or at least that's been my experience. Today felt just like March. The sky will now begin to roll in the presence of the blue star's electromagnetic field lines, especially since right now they're quickly following the rise of the red star and the
It's been
sun.
rolling.
Back in 2009, it was big news that our global warming crisis was
You
being
hear him?
temporarily reversed by a sudden increase in cosmic rays. It had gone up a whopping 19%. So you would suppose maybe someone might have noticed the fact that this year, at least one observatory thought cosmic rays were up 976%.
Because the red sun that does the
You just have to
exploding
wonder,
is
what
right
else are they
behind
not
ours. That's
telling us?
why.
And why are so many of these sites being closed down? Because you see, there's an inverse relationship between solar radiance and cosmic rays. And whether or not the Earth is protected depends directly on the health of Earth's magnetic field, which is about to let us down. Yeah. A while back, I told you there was a Navajo legend about the day flood arrived and the people flew away. Well, I have no idea whether that was a gravity thing, a magnetic thing, a high wind thing, or people were just no longer to be accounted for. Personally, I've seen mosquitoes stuck to a magnet, and I've seen mice and frogs levitated by magnetism, so I have no idea just how we're going to react when Earth current induced by the blue star and the red star join the start of creation in February 2021 and April 2022. I'm thinking it could be dramatic.
Very.
And I'll be wearing rubber boots for good measure. I bought earthquake insurance, but I feel like flood insurance would just be a waste of time. The uncollectible act of God, like force majeure and all that insurance. That, and a guy told me this week that FEMA won't approve flood insurance for a guy living 1,000
I have to
feet up
shorten
on the
3 of my
floodplain.
ponds. They were too tall.
Flood for Noah began with the exaltation of a big moon god because the sky spun in that direction. On the Native American artifact from Tennessee, you can see the symmetry of the planets on that fateful 17th of Heshvan on Halloween of minus 3105 Julian. In that second event, on the right, you can see Jupiter again described as a snake and a judge. and how he and Venus spin the sky back to normal after about 14 or 15 months after the problem began. Again, there's a Mexican stone from Ojuelos de Jalisco showing us to beware the symmetry, such as we just saw between the blue star and the red star, between Saturn and Jupiter, and between Mars and Venus. Things could be getting underway soon. The business in Corinth from Basilius does the same thing, only hinting at early next month as the possible start date. My biggest worry this time is for our moon. The red star called Phaethon was known to appear below moon's orbit. And if that's true, and if red star hits in our direction at the Jupiter-Venus conjunction in February, well then the sun of Ra and the man of the moon are going to get into a ruckus. So that's one up to the little heavyweight. The moon may not be made of cheese and it may not be hollow, but it's not very big and it's not very dense. 11 years ago, an old woman in touch with the daughter told me to beware this time in which the forces of Revelation 12 are obviously gathering, or it's increasingly likely, and those sorts of powers could have been whether they're trying to hold an election. As I've said before, I'm not merely concerned with the dance of the stars of creation. There's a nova or gamma ray burst nearby in the making.
Yes.
Either we're due for a galactic wave such as is discussed by Dr. Paul LaViolette, or the Persians were right in implicating Omega Orionis, or the Egyptians were right in observing Sirius, claimed to bark at us by the alchemists, or the scientists are correct in worrying about Betelgeuse. Something evil this way comes at the speed of light. You just haven't seen it yet.
It's not
As the
at the speed of light.
observed,
It's right behind
Raven
us and
rides
has been for
Capricorn
about a
this
year.
time. And as the Armenians observed on their Dragonstone, Aries will spew fire if you get him riled up.
The blue
Notice a
star
couple of
isn't
folks
serious.
that he bears
It's
watching in
Ra.
2021, the year of
Simple
the
as that.
When Abraham started out from Haran,
Taking ideas.
religion was all about nature. Not just one big blue star or one little red star or the sun, the whole damn thing. The dance of Orion with Aquarius, the trajectory of the blue star's polar orbit vis-a-vis the red stars who cannot kill one, reverence for the tree of life, for Earth, for which zodiac animal the goddess would ride next time, reverence for the sun and moon, not just one little corner of composite. Now we have a planet of 8 billion people run by blood-sucking morons intent on killing the mass of us, which they no longer control or afford to feed. The sport is teaming together a Jew, a Christian, and a Muslim, handing them a sickle, a sword, and a scimitar, and saying the future depends on their little religious war. So will they go at it, or will they go after the atheists sitting on the outside?
That is the question.
Before you run off to do better things, I would encourage you to figure out what's going on before the world changes overnight. It's like we're going to spend the rest of our lives living out every bad movie plot, space disaster, military snafu, internet hoax, and science fiction.
This guy's been
The
doing
world to
some work.
which you became accustomed died back in March, and it's not coming back. Before the lights go out, try to figure out what's going on and then be prepared to tell others.
Telling you.
If you're religious, study up and get prayed up. And if you're not, I suspect you will be.
If you're not, get to my
Generation had
channel and get
120
knowledge
years
stuff.
of warning. This generation
Know who
either
your creator
wasn't
is and your
told or wasn't
mother is
listening.
first creation. Because that ain't religion.
Well, I'm about
That's
to get busy again. I believe my
creation.
90-year-old dad and 88-year-old mom will be moving in with me since they can't agree on a nursing home, an assisted living facility, or trust a home care company. Maybe they're looking forward to 3 square meals a day when it's home practically all the time. So I'll try to get back from time to time if I get a chance to catch up on my reading. I have to make the active book pile upstairs. In the meantime, try not to get too caught up in the religious fairy tales or political propaganda by antagonists running around convinced you're about to win this thing. Trust your gut. Tell your truth and know it's all about anything wrong. Be with the ones you love. Take care of others, knowing it may not be for you, but for the ones who follow. God bless us, everyone.
Stargazing, humankind's way to predict the future, to talk to the gods, and today to unlock the secrets of creation. Our tools, magnificent machines built by pioneers, pushing the limits of technology, battling personal demons, public ridicule. Now, the great observatory, from Stonehenge to Hubble, on Modern Mars.
This is Robert Seffer's new one about the electromagnetics and human beings using it.
Have you ever met somebody with a magnetic personality that just seems to draw attention wherever they go? I don't mean because of the clothes they wear or someone gifted with exceptionally good looks, per se, although that helps, but a certain animal magnetism that just makes people feel comfortable being around them and enjoy being with them. Animal magnetism, also known as mesmerism, was coined by German Dr. Franz Mesmer in the 18th century to describe an invisible natural force possessed by all living things, including humans, animals, and vegetables.
Electromagnetism.
His research into this force could be classified as vitalism, the belief that living organisms are fundamentally different from non-living entities because they contain a non-physical element, a special energy or vital spark which some equate with soul. Dr. Mesmer believes that the force could have physical effects, including healing, and his theory grew in popularity into the 19th century, despite his inability to achieve any scientific recognition or legitimacy for his ideas. This is how a 1791 London publication explains Mesmer's theory on the vital fluid. Quote, modern philosophy has admitted a plenum or universal principle of fluid matter, which occupies all space, and that as all bodies moving in the world abound with force, this fluid matter introduces itself into space and returns backward and forward, flowing through one body by the currents which issues their forms to another. As in a magnet, which produces that phenomenon which we all call animal magnetism. This fluid consists of fire, air, and spirit, and like all other fluids, tends to an equilibrium. Therefore, it is easy to conceive how the effort which the bodies make toward each other produce animal electricity, which in fact is no more than the effect produced between two bodies, one of which has more motion than the other. Phenomenon serving to prove that the body which has the most motion communicates it to the other, until the medium of motion becomes an equilibrium between the two bodies, and then this equality of motion produces animal electricity. Dr. Mesmer's magnetic fluid theory was largely dismissed during his lifetime by a French royal commission appointed by Louis XVI, the last king of France before falling to the French Revolution. It was led by none other than Benjamin Franklin, and while acknowledging that the cures claimed by Dr. Mesmer did in fact have healing effects, the commission concluded that there was no evidence of the existence of the so-called magnetic fluid that Dr. Mesmer postulated. A generation later, another investigating committee, appointed by a majority vote in 1826 in the Royal Academy of Medicine in Paris, studied the effects and clinical potential without trying to establish the physical nature of any magnetic fluid, and this time concluded, quote, magnetism has taken effect upon persons of different sexes and ages. We may conclude with certainty that this state exists when it gives rise to the development of new faculties, which have been designated by the names of clairvoyance, intuition, internal provision, or when it produces great changes in the physical economy, such as insensibility, a sudden and considerable increase of strength, and when these effects cannot be referred to any other cause. Magnetism is as intense and as speedily felt at a distance of 6 feet as of 6 inches, and the phenomena developed are the same in both cases. Magnetism ought to be allowed a place within the circle of medical sciences. Practitioners that worked with this invisible force or vital energy were called magnetizer or mesmerist, and hundreds of books were written on the subject between 1766 and 1925, but it's almost entirely forgotten about today. That said, there are still practitioners today who continue with Mesmer's work, sometimes combined with hypnotic techniques, which bring about.
I would like to say, I talked to this guy and gave this guy this a few months ago. I didn't give him the working models that he brings to us because I hadn't looked. But I gave him, the unified field. I didn't know what I was giving him. But his last video had that dude jerking off and fucking popping it in his mouth. And I was all like, I gave you fucking raw, dude. And our hearts and magnets and put together a whole bunch of shit. How about you? I think he's actually been working on this for a while since I gave it to him because he did a really good job on this. And I almost feel bad about jumping on his ass, but I'm glad he brought this one out after that fucking shithole. I turned it off. I haven't even finished listening to it. I wasn't going to. I was like, fuck this. That's fucking stupid. But now he's talking about our magnet and shit. And that's spot on. I'm liking it.
A trance-like state.
This particular technique of classical mesmerism. And under contract of keeping it secret for at least 20 years, Peter Blythe, at 3 o'clock in the morning, showed us this particular technique, and he demonstrated on me. So what I'd like to do, it's a very short technique, is demonstrate on Gary.
Okay.
So just for a moment, can you just turn this way, Gary? Mm-hmm. And what I'd like you to do is just relax your arms a bit, and then can you just raise them so the fingers are
you guys should
down
watch
and
this.
your wrists nice and
It's a
really
good one.
relaxed.
It's good. You should watch this instead of just listen to it.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few deep breaths and I'm going to channel
You did a good job.
the
Give him a thumbs up on this
mesmeric
shit. Fucking good
energy.
video.
Now, some people might refer to this as key energy, prana in different traditions. People call this different things, and the discussion on hypnothoughts, part of that thread is saying that this energy that's used for mesmerism is very, very similar, if not the same. So, we just relax that finger, that's it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to raise some chi energy. You just stand there. And then I'm going to get my fingers rather close to yours, but I'm not going to touch them. So let's just hope the camera picks this up, because what's going to happen is the chi energy is now going to flow from each of my fingers into your fingers. That's the left hand, that's the right hand direction. So you should be able to just start to feel a very slight tingling. Can you feel that? Okay. Now what will happen is the tingling will build up to the point where you can almost not stand it. When it reaches that point, just knock your head and let right close. Just understand. Deep breaths. You feel them building up. Reach your elbows. Just in the hands and the wrists. Mm-hmm. So, I'll just intensify a little bit more. So as soon as it builds up that point, you can almost not stand any more of it. Just let your eyes close down and nod your head. Now just let your arms. And I'd like you just laying on the spot while you're just make sure you have a little bit of cameras and trees, just could be something just there, that's it. Okay. Now Gary and I haven't discussed this, so it's going to be a very interesting thing. But what we're going to do, Gary, is just pay attention to the sensations in your body. For the camera, I'll just make sure you can see I'm not going to touch it, Gary. So what I'm going to do, there we go. Can you feel that happening, Gary? close to it. As everybody in the world can see, no physical contact, no collusion. What's happening inside your body right now, Gary? How does it feel?
Fine, I feel relaxed.
How was it when you felt your hand starting to move?
It was like it was moving on its own.
And what were the thoughts that went along with that?
My hand's moving.
And my hand
Do you know
was
why it was moving?
Was yours moving too?
My hand was moving too.
moving. What was your thoughts on that, Gary? Well, my hand was moving.
See my hand moving?
Good go, Gary.
How did you know my hand was moving?
I probably ought to heard you do it.
I don't know, I didn't know if my arm was moving until it started to.
Excellent. Anytime you're ready, you don't know. That is classical mesmerism.
I'm working on some rent
Here's
money.
a short clip with a demonstration of mesmerism induction. The practitioner claims that there's no pre-induction or preparation, and it's performed on a student that has never experienced mesmerism before. It's in German, so I'll do the voiceover myself. What's the difference between hypnosis and mesmerism? Do you know? I don't know the second word. Mesmerism is the old classical style of hypnosis and trance, where the body goes cataleptic or shivers, and there's rapid eye movement. The great thing about it is that it doesn't happen because of speed or a similar fast induction. It's an emotion and or condition that happens nice and easy. Breathe.
Emotion.
Deeper, 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 all the way down, all relaxed. If your body wants to be positioned differently, let it move to that position now. And we'll just go even deeper and deeper. Recognize now how the body relaxes and moves comfortably. Even deeper into a nice position, relax your face, and even deeper, exactly, deeper and deeper. Recognize your eyes now. What happens in your face and with your eyes as you go deeper and deeper, all the way down into that mesmerizing state of mind where everything happens. Recognize now what happens now. This is mesmerizing condition. Completely and very special. Feel it in your body where the whole body reacts and everything just works perfectly. In a moment, you'll feel 2 taps on your hand. When you feel those, you feel a wave of warm energy and light spreading out. Feel now how the nerves and muscles relax instantly. It happens exactly now. That's it. Recognize how every muscle relaxes around your eyes. Exactly like that. Breathe deeply and relax even more. Exactly like that. Just relax deeply. Exactly like that. On the count of 3, you'll open your eyes and you'll be back, ready and alert. 1, 2, and 3. See, that's mesmerism. Did you see how the body reacted? There are other schools of thought that work with what they describe as a life force energy that shares similar properties to what is described in mesmerism, such as Reiki and Qigong, which are popular in Asia, or considerably different in practice and theory. These techniques, which work with Qi or Qi, which are words that describe an invisible energy that permeates all living beings, and through the aid of a practitioner, can also be used to allegedly heal a wide variety of physical, emotional, and spiritual ailments. This next clip is a brief excerpt from a documentary called Ring of Fire, East of Krakatoa, in which a demonstration of chi energy is performed during a healing session.
Is it in? You just relax and enjoy your moment.
He uses acupuncture needles in the traditional points, but with a twist. Through them, he directs a form of electricity, as he calls it. But he doesn't draw the electricity from a wall socket. He claims to generate it within his own body. It was nothing like any acupuncture I'd ever had. I was getting really powerful electric shocks and couldn't control my movements at all. He says that what he does is no more supernatural than an electric eel, which also knows how to harness its yin and yang energies.
Yin yang, positive and negative. And my positive from here and my negative from here. And bring it together, it can get like electricity.
And is this because you're special? You have a special sort of
Meditation every day.
It's meditation that does it.
Meditation every day. Like a yoga.
Can you project this energy through your hands only or through other things as well?
Like you can touch me. Like this. It's nothing.
He doesn't even know he can do it through his feet. He can.
Like this.
Our sound recordist, Simi, was skeptical at first.
He's a master.
Later, he told us that anybody could learn this. God had given us all the yin-yang polarity, but it takes discipline and meditation to awaken and control it. And you must be very aware of your emotions. This energy can
That's
be
the
dangerous.
driver of it.
It can kill as well as heal.
Kill and steal.
Then he asked for our newspaper.
I'm telling you, man. That's why I don't fuck with it. It's scary. We're very strong people.
Whatever you've done to our newspaper, it's how you healed my eyes that made me wonder. What do these people living in the shadows of the volcano still know that we of the West have forgotten?
I found it. Right.
I'm sure there will be skeptics that do not believe that a bioelectric magnetic force exists, or that it can be harnessed and focused to such a degree that it can ignite fire in paper. So I'm including another demonstration, this time by Grandmaster Wolf in Australia. He performs a similar flame using the chi flow directed out of his palm. He shows us his hands, and he shows us the paper that he tore from a page in a book, and it appears to be an ordinary piece of paper, and his hands appear to be clean. He places the paper in the palm of his hand, and using his will, directs the energy into his hand, and within a few moments, we start to see something happening to the paper. As I'm sure many people are still skeptical, which is absolutely understandable, since in the West,
harnessing the body's energy is not taught. So I'm including another demonstration, this time with a clear piece of plastic so that we can see through it to his palm. He's showing us a brand new plastic water bottle that he opens, takes a sip to show us it's just water, and pours out the remaining water into a container. He then takes a scissor and proceeds to puncture and then cut the water bottle, removing a small piece of plastic. Similar in size to the piece of paper he used in the last demonstration. Once again, he shows us his hands. They appear to be clean, free of oils, chemicals, or any device like a lighter or matches. He places the piece of plastic that he just cut from the water bottle in his palm. He held it in his mouth so that it remained on camera the whole time. And we can see through the plastic, and there does not appear to be anything under it or on his palm. So now let's see what happens. Let's try one last demonstration from Grandmaster Wolf.
Okay, ladies
Hit
and
him, Master
gentlemen,
Wolf.
we have three balloons, a black balloon inside a clear balloon, inside another
Fucking
clear balloon. I hope you can see that.
Crazy.
This was a suggestion from one of my students. Question
You can
being,
watch the
can I
balloon
influence
actually
the
react.
balloon without influencing the other two? My answer is, I don't know. I haven't tried before, so we're going to have a go. Get this to sit here without blowing away. Quite a bit of breeze out here at the moment. Let's see. So the answer is yes. We'll see that in a minute.
The notion that physical bodily functions are due to an invisible, energetic, or spiritual principle existing in all living creatures has roots going back at least to ancient Egypt. Claudius Galen, a physician and philosopher during the Roman Empire, believed that the lungs drew in pneuma, or spirit, from the air, which the blood communicates or circulates throughout the body. Pneuma is an ancient Greek word for breath, and in a religious context for spirit or soul. In Europe, medieval physics was influenced by the idea of pneuma helping to shape later theories about ether, an invisible material thought to permeate all matter and space in the universe. By the 20th century, the concept of ether largely fell out of favor with the formulation and acceptance of the special theory of relativity by Albert Einstein. The ether hypothesis was abandoned as being unnecessary. There was, however, an upswell into what are largely considered occult studies in Germany, receiving substantial government funding into research of esoteric phenomena by the National Socialist Party, which not only conducted experiments into working prototypes of anti-gravitational propulsion, which more and more people are becoming aware of, with recent acknowledgement by the US government that such technology may actually exist, but also into occult sciences dealing with the energetic psychic potential of man. Some of the research topics included extrasensory perception, psychokinesis, map dowsing, telepathic communication, and other paranormal phenomena, such as the manipulation of space-time, which used the ancient Aryan technique of harnessing and transmuting what they called Vril energy, which is the same universal bioelectric magnetic life force as chi, prana, and orgone, regarded as the fifth element, spirit, or ether. In fact, after the war, and even during the war, there was a major effort by the United States to incorporate German scientists into their own covert programs, develop alternative technologies, which included things like rockets, but were not limited to physical weapons of war. In the book Phenomenon, the secret history of the U.S. government's investigations into extrasensory perception and psychokinesis, investigative journalist Annie Jacobson says, quote, "We later learned that the Soviets had captured an equal trove of information on the same subject, and we learned that they were working in this area. You could say that this is the origin story of the psychic arms race." Now the CIA and KGB would conduct similar experiments, each side arguing that the other side's program required countermeasures to defend against them. While they were looking into mind research and how to input behavior, the MKUltra Sub-Project 58 became significant, which is the program to use drugs, which they call psychopharmacology,
over here making a little bit of money.
psychic functioning.
I'm about to go to bed soon. I ain't staying up all night tonight.
The Office of Naval Research calls this program anomalous mental cognition. It is interesting that post-World War II university called Vril energy pseudoscience.
It was nice.
Yeah, at the same time, governments that regulate what those same post-World War II universities are allowed to teach under the guise of national security covertly conduct their own research into the same occult science with a top secret classification taught to them by the same Aryan scientists which they publicly ridicule. My name is Robert Sepper. I'm an anthropologist. My published work is available on Amazon as well as through various other major book outlets. They make a great gift. If you'd like to support my work, you can do that through patreon.com. There should be a link in the description section for those who are interested. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Please hit the like button and subscribe for future updates. As always, I look forward to reading your comments, so kindly leave me your thoughts below. Please have a wonderful week, and I hope to see you again soon.
In the year 1625, an Italian nobleman named Pietro della Valle went on a tour of the Middle East. Della Valle was a prolific traveler. He journeyed around Asia, North Africa, and even India. He married an Assyrian Christian princess in Damascus, and now the two of them traveled together, journeying by horseback and camel, accompanied by local guides. At this time, travel in this region couldn't have been more dangerous.
The Ottoman and Persian empires were at war, fighting over who would rule in Baghdad. And meanwhile, local bandits took advantage of the chaos to prey on travelers. In those days, lions even roamed in these hills. Due to these various dangers, Della Valle's guides were constantly on edge. It was June the 18th, 1625, when they spotted a distant group of tribesmen on the horizon. Their guides decided that they might be in danger and began to search for a place to hide. In the distance, they spotted the looming mass of a series of enormous ruins, as Della Valle later wrote in his memoirs.
Being suspicious of some Arabian vagrants or vagabonds, for more security we removed a mile further and took up our station under a little hill near some ruins of buildings, which we saw from far away.
Della Valle's group stayed in those ruins for several nights, while their guides negotiated with the local ruler, asking for safe passage. During the day, under the baking Iraqi sun, Della Valle passed his time by walking among those monumental ruins.
Our removal hence being still deferred, I went in the forenoon to take a more diligent view of the ruins of the above-said ancient building. What it had been, I could not understand, but I had found it to have been built with very good bricks, most of which were stamped with certain unknown letters which appeared very ancient. I observed that they had been cemented together not with lime, but with bitumen or pitch.
Della Valle was fascinated by the broken fragments of writing that littered the ground of this ruined place. He explored further and wrote down some of the symbols that he saw again and again, stamped into the stones and pieces of clay brick.
Surveying the ruins again, I found on the ground some pieces of black marble, hard and fine, engraven with the same letters as the brick, which seemed to me to be a kind of seal. Amongst other symbols which I discovered in that short time, two I found in many places. One was like a pyramid, and the other resembled a star of 8 points.
Della Valle and his wife didn't know it, but they had stumbled across the ruins of Ur, the city that had formed the center of one of mankind's first civilizations. This society was known as Sumer, and it was where so much of the world we know today first began. Eventually, negotiations with the local leader fell apart, and Della Valle's guide no longer felt safe camped out there in the ruins. They departed in the dead of night and fled to safety across the desert. In Della Valle's bag were a few of the clay tablets that he had found scattered around the ruins of Ur. These would be the first examples ever seen in Europe of a language that had been dead and forgotten for thousands of years. All the way home, Della Valle must have turned those tablets over in his hands, gazed at their mysterious ancient symbols. He must have wondered to himself, who had built those enormous mounds of brick and earth, all alone out there in the middle of the desert? What did the symbols on those broken pieces of clay mean? And if such a great city had once stood there, what in all the world could have happened to it?
Nuclear weapons by the Anunnakis. That's what. Fucking cold. Cold. Down here in my shop. I ain't been working very hot. Like a bunch of shakers going on.
My name's Paul Cooper, and you're listening to the Fall of Civilizations podcast. Each episode, I look at a civilization of the past that rose to glory and then collapsed into the ashes of history.
Oh, exciting.
I want to ask,
Wow.
what did they have in common? What led to their fall? And what did it
So
feel
the
like to be a
quaking's gonna
person
continue, then.
alive at the time who witnessed the end of their
All right,
world?
that's all I wanted to know.
In this episode, I want to go back to the very beginning and look at a society that is one of the candidates for
Might
the
even
first
climb in
ever
scale here by a
technological
couple of
human
points.
civilization. These are the
Looking
people of
exciting
Sumer,
on this one.
who we call the Sumerian.
I haven't even looked at
I
the
want to
moon
show
lately.
how,
Let me go look
over
at
the
that.
course of
It's been about an
millennia,
hour.
the Sumerians would build
I
a
don't even wanna look
society
at it
that
yet.
would form the blueprint for all that followed after.
I'm
I want to show how
tired.
they rose to invent writing, mathematics, and the wheel, and built
tired.
the largest cities that humanity had ever
Maybe I should
seen.
just go to bed so I can
And
get
I
a
want to
good day.
explore what happened to cause their final and devastating collapse.
I got what I wanted done tonight. Hell yeah. I always be blowing some glass if I'm breathing. I'll tell you that right now.
In the highlands of southeastern Turkey,
Favorite thing to
a
do.
range of snow-topped limestone peaks
Shit, I'm up
rise over 3,000 meters.
2 o'clock in the fucking morning because I didn't get to today. I'm like, I need to go do something in my fucking dungeon. But I got some prep work done. I got all kinds of stuff done tonight.
Instead, these clouds pool in their
I'm good.
hollows.
I should probably
valleys,
go to
and
bed.
give these hills an
Start
exceptionally
this
high
again in
rate
about
of annual
5 or 6
rainfall.
hours.
In spring and summer, the warm air meets the clouds.
No, I've got a lot.
And violent thunderstorms.
Yeah, I can't stop yawning. I'm about ready to cry. I got an awful lot of prep work for them clear points tomorrow. That's a lot of work.
Shaped by water. The steep sides of the Taurus Mountains have been
I want to
eroded
make
to form streams and waterfalls.
I'll make some bubblers,
While underground
couple,
rivers have cut
and
into the rock,
some
and
hand
hollowed
pipes,
out
some
some
nicer
of
hand
the
pipes.
largest caves in Asia.
So I want to finish making some more
Just as in
fucking
the shape of the
pendants and
rock,
shit. I want to make some
water
heart
has
pendants.
also shaped the belief of this region. The name of these mountains,
I have to think of
Taurus,
something go for
comes from the
Halloween.
Latin word
Get a
for
couple
bull.
of them made. Maybe
And the
a
reason
ghost
for this
pendant or
isn't
two.
hard to see. Temples have been unearthed all across these mountains, decorated with terracotta statues of bulls. Since ancient times, the people who lived here worshipped the storm god Ashur. They believed
I like
he
this
rose
guy,
on
even
the
though
back
he's
of
dry
perhaps
about
as the
his
sound
history.
of the thunderstorm
He
reminded
still gives a good,
of the thumping of a dormant hue.
decent analogy of it.
Accompanied with the cracking and booming of these thunderstorms, these heavy spring rains drain streams and join rivers already flowing down the snowy mountain passes of Armenia. Soon,
Turn off my
these small
explosive
rivers
gas.
join together and flow down from the mountains and out onto the wide, flat plains beneath in 2 great, majestic watercourses that run together in near parallel for nearly 2,000 kilometers.
So I got this little sucker
The
done
vast
yesterday.
floodplain of these
Little
rivers
dragon.
is today the land we
He's a
call
little baby
Iran.
dragon. Just sit in your hand.
In
Little
Arabic,
rig.
this area is called
Cute little fucker.
the land of the 2 rivers. And in the West, it has been known since ancient times by its Greek name, combining the words mesos, or middle, and potamos, or river. Mesopotamia, the land between the rivers.
I finished my chest set.
These
Hey, what's
2
up, Jamie?
great
How you doing?
waterways are known as the Tigris.
Fixing to go upstairs to where it's warmer. It's just fucking absolutely miserably
millennia,
cold down here. And
These rivers brought life down
It's
into
been
the flat
one of them
floodplains
days.
of Iraq. And the source of
I'll
that
do
life comes
a full
from
day
some
down
of
here
the most
tomorrow.
lifeless things. The rocks of the mountains themselves.
Got a lot of prep work cut out and ready to go.
Virtually all rocks are held together with tiny flecks of 2 different materials called quartz and feldspar. Quartz is a clear, glittering crystal formed from oxygen and silica, while feldspar is a complex mineral derived from silica. Together, they make up over 60% of the Earth's crust. And when rivers cut their roots through the mountain gullies and underground streams, their waters wash over the rocks,
It's
and
feldspar
their soluble
he's
parts.
talking about right there
But quartz
in
and
my mica.
feldspar don't dissolve in water. And so these tiny crystals are carried along by the river in a cloud of glittering particles. We call this substance silt.
Just what it looks like.
Is sometimes known by the more poetic name rock flour.
Rock
And its
flour.
particles are
I'd never
smaller
call
than a
it
grain
that.
of sand. But these tiny specks have an enormous impact. Soil content tends to hold water better and promotes air circulation. And for this reason, silty soil forms the perfect habitat for most plants. The rivers Tigris and Euphrates transport vast amounts of silt down into the lowlands of Iraq every year. And as a consequence, this flat stretch of otherwise arid desert has become exceptionally fertile. For the history of this region, and the history of all humanity, these tiny particles would prove immensely significant.
Take a look at the moon here. See if we can see it. I don't even know if I can see it.
Other than its rich clay soil, the desert plains of southern Iraq are an inhospitable landscape.
Still pretty high in the sky.
In fact, this is perhaps the last place you might expect the first human civilizations to arise. For one thing, the climate of this region is extremely hot and dry. Summer temperatures can reach over 52 degrees centigrade or 126 degrees Fahrenheit. And
My messy room.
is rare.
I did laundry and threw everything on my bed. You have to excuse my mess.
Winds that blow across these plains. This means that the soil is arid and windswept. And although the seasonal flooding of the rivers brings life to the earth, these floods are also unpredictable. In Egypt, the River Nile flows directly from the Great Lakes of Africa, which act as a stabilizing and regulating force. But the Tigris and Euphrates depend on the amount of rain that fell on the mountains of Turkey, Armenia, and Kurdistan, a quantity that varies greatly from year to year. Years of drought can often be followed by years of devastating floods. And during winter, the whole plain is covered with a
What's
thick
your
layer
question,
of mud.
Jamie? I probably covered it, and if you just came
region of
across it
southern
and you
Iraq
ain't looked at all
is
my
also
videos
poor
yet.
in natural resources. The land is essentially nothing but a floodplain made of
So
clay.
I very well probably have.
There
But
are
bring
no
it.
metals to be mined
Throw it
here,
at me.
and
Good morning,
virtually no
Ajax.
stone. And because of all these challenges, it took early humans a long time to reach this hostile environment.
2 o'clock.
In the far prehistoric, archaic humans
Keep in mind it's 2 a.m.
vied for survival in the upper reaches of the rivers. Archaeologists have found stone axes and other artifacts dating back to nearly 500,000 years ago. But the riverlands of southern Iraq.
Yeah, you haven't
weren't
watched hardly
suitable
any
for
of my
this
videos, then,
hunter-gatherer
Jamie.
lifestyle. But about 13,000 years ago,
I can tell you that right now. I've answered all those questions.
Nomadic hunter-gatherers
Yeah, they're real.
began to settle down in permanent villages. These early innovators.
You got a long way to go,
noticed something
Jamie.
They saw that when they threw away the discarded seeds of edible plants,
I even explained who they
that
are
same
at some
plant
point.
would later sprout out of their rubbish.
What
dumps.
cities they live in, what the
And
name
this
of the
gave
cities
them
are,
an idea.
where they
They
are,
realized
how
that
to
if you
find
buried
them.
plant seeds in the earth, fed them and watered them, more of the same plants would
Yeah,
grow.
you haven't watched very many of my videos, buddy.
These were some of the first farmers. And once they found a good patch of land,
I ran into
they
most
quite
of this by
understandably
accident. I was
didn't
sure as
want
fuck
food.
wasn't looking for it.
They soon built houses nearby and storehouses. to keep
I
food
know,
for the
right?
winter.
He says,
They
I've
banded
watched a lot of
together
yours. I
in
just
larger
kept trying to watch a lot
in
of
order
it. Did
to
you hit?
survive the
Yeah,
labor
I
of
answered
farming
it. I answered
and
it
to protect their
extensively.
grave if anyone else
How
tried
we
to
got
take it.
here, what happened.
They learned
How
how to take the clay from the ground
bah,
and shape
done.
it into pots. But they were still limited to areas
Didn't
where the
mean
rain
to. I was just trying to figure out why
to
the fuck the moon was doing cartwheels at night.
From about
Look
the
what I
year
got us into.
6500
See what you get?
these human settlements began to spread.
Yeah, it got kind of big on
Century
us.
by century, millennium by millennium, they worked their way down the courses of the two great
Blew up
rivers
in my face a couple
and
years
into
ago
the
with Raw.
inhospitable
That
land
was a
of
mind
southern
bender
Iraq.
right there. And then 3 days ago, I think we were sitting down in
Who
the
these
dungeon
people
and
were,
figured out that
what
we had
language they
actually
spoke, and what
figured
they
out the
called
fucking
themselves,
quantum field
we
and
have
all
no
that
idea.
fucking answered all that shit.
Today, we
I
call
was
this
like, well,
stretch
fuck!
of several thousand
We didn't
years
even know what we was
the
doing
Event,
over here.
named
We
by
fucking put old
arbitrarily
Einstein
after the
back.
site where their
Whoop.
first
Boy,
artifacts were
Albert!
found.
I showed you how things
As the
actually
Ubaid
work.
people
His theory
moved
never
down the
worked
rivers
with
of
everything.
Iraq, they
Ours
began
does.
to notice other things
Simple as
too.
that. I gotta go turn off my
They
eyes.
noticed that date palms grew in some areas of the river, providing them with a rich and delicious source of calories. They soon found out that these too could be cultivated and planted in orchards. And they also noticed that these palms could provide shade for other more fragile plants, allowing them to be grown too beneath the harsh Iraqi sun. And they made another crucial discovery too. They realized that they didn't have to grow their plants only on the banks of the river. With a bit of hard work, they could dig channels that diverted the life-giving water inland. Now they could grow crops just about anywhere, so long as you could dig a canal long enough. And the people of this region would soon become very good at digging canals.
I can't believe it's
Worked
cold
properly
outside.
in this manner, this landscape
cold out
could
here.
be immensely productive. In their fields, the people here grew wheat, millet, and sesame, and in gardens beneath the shade of their date palms, they also grew pomegranates, grapes, and figs, as well as chickpeas, lentils, leeks, garlic, cucumbers, and watercress. But there was one noticeable patch of green in the midst of all this desert. In the south of Iraq, the rivers Tigris and Euphrates branched into deltas and shallow lakes before they meet the ocean, creating an ancient marsh landscape. Here, dense thickets of reeds grow, so tall you can't see over the tops of them, populated with buffalo, wild boar, and marshland birds. Since ancient times, the people here have built their houses out of reeds, binding them together into incredibly strong beams of up to a meter thick, and building large, vaulted houses out of nothing but reeds. And it's in this marshy southern landscape that the greatest Sumerian cities rose. Just as Mesopotamia was watered by two great rivers, its lands were also populated by two great peoples. These were the people of Sumer and the people of Akkad. Over the course of their history, the Sumerians and the Akkadians grew together in such a symbiotic way that it's impossible to tell the story of one without the
Yeah,
other.
they've tried to kill me, Jamie.
We know
Guess
a
what?
decent amount about the Akkadian
Didn't
people
work.
in the north.
And
They
it
spoke a
fucking
language
severely
that was
injured the
Semitic
person that
family,
did, and they
meaning that
disappeared,
it's
and
in
so
the
did
same
somebody
language
else over
family
it.
as the
I didn't
Aramaic
do
of
any
the
of it.
Bible, and later Hebrew and Arabic.
So,
This language
no, I've
seems to
actually
have been
discovered shit
indigenous
that the
to the
Illuminati
region,
didn't even
and
have.
it shares grammar and words
They've already life
with
banned me
many
from
other
Google
languages
once.
that surrounded it.
And then I started reading hieroglyphs,
But
and
the
they were like,
Sumerian
whoa, hold
people
on.
are
Let's see what
much
this
more
guy's on to.
mysterious.
Here we
In
are,
fact,
on my
they are
second
such a
channel.
mystery that they've caused archaeologists to refer to what's called
After I
the
just
Sumerian
slaughtered fucking
problem.
Five Eyes yesterday. I'm still taking in air.
Sumerians spoke what we
You can
call
do the
a
same thing.
language
You
isolate.
just gotta be strong in your
That is,
knowledge
it has
and know
no
who you are,
relation
because
to any
then
of the languages
you're
around
scary.
it. And it's
You're
essentially
scary to the
in a
whole
language
cabal once you
family
know who you
all
are.
of its own.
Period. That's the whole fucking
Sumerian
program,
was
to
so
keep us
alien
from
to
who
the
we are.
region that early scholars who
It's too
discovered
late.
its first
It's out of the
text
bag.
didn't believe it could be a real language at all. They thought it must have been a kind of code used to communicate in secret. This alone
chilly
has
out.
led some historians
Wish
to
they'd close the
ask
window.
whether the Sumerians
It's
may have
fucking
arrived
cold.
in southern Iran from somewhere else. The Sumerian
They've
culture
actually tried to kill me.
centered
I
on the
covered that in a
sea
few
coast
videos
of
too.
Iraq's far south. And so some have suggested
Uh,
that they may have arrived
They
by
fucked with
boat.
my life in every aspect.
Some backing for this theory
aspect
may
of my
come
life.
in the writing of Roman historian Flavius
They've even been to
Josephus,
my house.
who wrote down a Babylonian legend
They
that he
can't
heard
challenge
in
me.
the first
They can't
century
hurt
AD.
me. My
It
creator
relates the story of a
exists
half
in
man,
each and every
half
atom in
fish called
existence.
Oannes, who walked out of the sea
He can
and
undo a
taught the
bullet
people of Mesopotamia.
on its way to me. And that seems to be the kind of protection we're all guaranteed. If we can only find our meekness.
Found cities, build temples, create laws, and measure plots of land. He revealed to them how to work the land and gather fruit.
Elohim. Yeah, the Anunnaki, those guys, they can suck a big bag of dicks. They're still the ones ruling the fucking planet, and they gotta go. They have a planet called Heaven, and they trapped this one in a void after destroying a planet, and they described how they trapped us here very distinctly. Yeah, I showed it in physics. I was like, oh, look. They had to have that moon here. It locks us in the void. My mama could just really easily jump out.
For more common jobs, the ones that involve manual labor, the Sumerians used old, pre-Sumerian words. Meanwhile, they brought new words with them to describe more sophisticated and urban communication. For instance,
it's our creator, Mother Earth. They wrote it down in that book that if we can attain this meekness in the right frequency, not a hair on our head can be harmed. And I totally know why now.
Although it does seem a little
I proved it in a ferrule cell, and it's physics. It's not spiritual. It's not esoteric. It's actual physics of magnets. And Mom's got one, and the creator is in each atom at 1748 hertz. So, I mean, there's nothing to fear. I fear nothing. Except for heights and spiders. Fucking terrified of both. I'm getting over my fucking. I'm getting over it. I'm just saying. It's been a beautiful last year discovering all this stuff. And like I said, I've got knowledge that I'm holding on to. I know how to do these things by accident, and I'm refusing to practice it because I don't want to hurt anybody. We just saw a guru fucking tell you this can kill people or it can heal people. And I've been saying the same thing since I read it on the wall. I told people, I said, look, I just read some shit I ain't sharing with you. Period. I said, we can grow bone though, but we could also blow off that fucking foot with the same fucking intent. It could just be done wrong. And I'm not about to start fucking with that kind of shit.
When the last ice age ended around 10 BC, global temperature rose between 4 to 7 degrees over a period.
Well, a lot of people translated the Sumerian tablets.
Up until that,
a lot of people did. There's a lot of people, not just Sitchin. There's a lot of people that have come up with the same story. Out of the same tablets, different tablets. Yeah, it's a widespread thing. They just talk about Sitchin because he was CIA. And his misinformation is all about Nibiru. That most of the texts call it heaven. Only after it crosses through the ecliptic on its way back is it Nibiru. And they name it that because of some position in the sky. But the planet's name is Heaven. And Anu handed down the kingships and priesthoods from there. And it's all, hey, what up, homebrew? It's all Bible canon shit. Look, There's the co-discoverer of the fucking electromagnetic fucking unified field. Oh my god, dude. What do you do with that kind of shit, John? What do you do with that? Really? I've been giving it to professors. Been giving it to professors to vet, to look at. I finished my chess set. It's done. Finally. I went shortened a couple of them tonight. If I should go to bed, I just turned off my oxygen. Man, I went out there and I heard this wee like that. I ran outside. I was like, oh, fuck, man, my oxygen tank's out there fucking screaming. That's not good. I gotta fix a leak tomorrow, so in my connection. I hate winter. Well, it gets cold. It's colder than when it was, and it's a brass fitting that I put over there, so it's shrunk a little bit. I slept half the day, John. I couldn't fucking get out of bed. And when I did, I'd go do something. I'd come back. I ate a sandwich and passed out again. I ain't even ate. Speaking of which, I got chicken soup. I gotta go stir real quick. I'll be right back. You can grab me some milk too. I almost forgot I gotta stir that soup.
Historians have argued that Neolithic humans may have made their home in this fertile valley, having journeyed down the mountains of Iran. But as the glaciers melted, the sea advanced, slowly at first, but with an increasing speed. Over the next 5,000 years, the coastline would have moved an average rate of 120 meters a year. That's over a kilometer every 10 years, or 1 meter every 3 days. If there were humans living in this low-lying region at the time, this event must have been utterly terrifying. The next centuries would see these people driven north by the encroaching waves, which swallowed whole forests and villages. These people would have been pressed into ever denser populations, forced to adapt as they went. They would have been a roving band of refugees, never able to settle anywhere for long before the sea made its next advance. This exodus would have continued until the planet's temperature stabilized, and the seacoast reached its furthest point, right around the year 5000 BC, just at the time that Sumerian culture as we know it burst onto the historical stage. So this is a theory that I think deserves some consideration, that as the waves of Semitic-speaking farmers moved down the rivers and mountains to the north, they met another population coming up from the south, a ravaged and devastated people, speaking a language that had evolved independently, and telling tales of a flood that had drowned the whole world. This theory could be supported by that legend of the amphibious fishman Oannes. Is it possible that the Sumerians came to southern Iraq not by boat, but actually walking out of a land that was now at the bottom of the sea? Another legend, called the myth of Enki and Nilotad, relates a creation story in which the god Enki creates man in a land called Dilmun. Like the Garden of Eden, Dilmun is an earthly paradise.
Now they do.
In Dilmun,
Oh
the
boy,
crow
it's
does
chilly.
not utter its cry. The lion
Fucking
does
cold
not
here,
kill.
John. How's your
The wolf does not seize the lamb.
I just ate a whole mouthful of fucking hemp seed, man. Just now. Ah!
Dilmun is what is now Bahrain, an island in the middle of the Persian Gulf.
Love that
body
stuff.
of water that was once a fertile river valley. All we have on this subject is speculation, and until any further evidence is found, this will remain just a theory. But as a storyteller, I can't.
We already figured that out, Jamie. Like I said, you need to. Like I say, you ain't even started on my videos yet. Obviously, that's sorely obvious.
We are reminded history is not a rigid.
I covered all that shit
fact.
extensively.
The continuing process of inquiry and debate.
All of it. I broke down the Bible. I broke down Bible canon. I broke down who the Hebrews are. I broke down. Do you know who the sons of Cain are? Who's the descendants of Cain? Because if not, you ain't seen hardly any of my videos. I'll tell you exactly who the descendants of Cain are. You want to know all that shit? I got you.
We may never know the truth about where the Sumerians came from, but there is plenty that we do know. The Sumerians referred to themselves as
I know where the Sumerians came from.
The black-headed people. And the Akkadians called them.
I also know the Sumerians are the Hebrews today.
From carvings that depict Sumerians, we can see how they wore their hair, curly on top and cut short sides.
And the Mesoamerican Indians, natives, the Hopi,
would have worn colored fabric.
People that can't grow hair on their face,
tassels, beads.
That's the son of Cain.
Among the wealthy, both men and women wore.
That's their genetic marker. They can't grow hair on their face.
Necklaces, ear ornaments, made.
Bible don't answer that, does it? How'd I find that out? Cuneiform.
We also have great
Bible canon
about Sumerian music. Like everything else, the Sumerians wrote their music down on clay tablets. And we've also discovered other texts that explain how to play.
John, you haven't even started, Jamie. Hi, how you doing? You need to go back there and look at my. You do know I have an educational page, right? It isn't just this page.
Temples of cities like Eridu, Ur, Uruk.
This is my live glass blowing page.
These two great people.
And our chatting page where we hang out and talk about the moon. How's your moon looking, John? It's probably already set.
That would see their cultures.
Maybe not. You're only an hour or so away.
Two great rivers.
Your moon should probably still be up.
They shared the cities that were even now growing to become the largest ever seen. But they also shared.
I was hungry.
And as a result, their fate became inextricably intertwined.
I got some good chicken soup cooking. Good fucking chicken soup. I almost got a bowl of it.
Sumerians believed
it's not done yet,
that the world was a roughly circular land, surrounded on all sides by a huge body of water. They believed that another ocean also lay above their heads, held in place by the solid structure of the sky, which occasionally let some of this water through as rain. They divided water into two types, that of the rain, rivers, sweet water, and that of the sea, bitter water. Sumerians called their homeland Ki-Engir, which means the land of the noble lords. To describe the settled societies of the Sumerian Akkadians, they used the word kalam, meaning civilized.
Now, myself personally, I've never found. I don't give a fuck what this guy says. I'd like to see that. I've never seen where the Sumerians think that we had a wall over our head. I've never seen that. That's not what the firmament they were talking about. How you doing, Ask? That's some. Like I said, he gives dry history. That's some misinformation bullshit right there. I'd like to see that because I've never seen it. And I've looked into the Sumerians for a long fucking time.
Ur in the Sumerian language meant mountain, but it also came to mean.
Until I found out that was where Bible canon came from. I was like, holy fuck, look at this.
That's how the outside world must look. To their south and west, the vast desert of Arabia yawned, a rolling sea of sand dunes where nothing grew, home to fierce nomadic tribes. To the north, the rocky Taurus mountains of Turkey and Kurdistan hemmed them in.
Jamie, you haven't even
Full
started
hardy
watching my
mountain
videos.
people, while
I've
the
spoken to
Zagros
350
Mountains
native
of Iran
tribes,
formed the edge of their world. to
at
the
least.
east. Today, the Arabic word for the region of Upper Mesopotamia
They know
still
who I am
holds
too.
within it a sense of this feeling of isolation. They call it El Jazira, meaning the
And I
island.
did have a wild goose chase with the
But despite the challenges
Hopi.
of their landscape, the
I figured out it
Sumerians
wasn't
flourished.
either one of those tribes.
They had no stone to build with, so instead they learned to make bricks from the river mud,
It's the Havasu
mixing them
pie.
with straw, gravel, and broken pottery, and baking it. With clay, they made everything from pots, plates, sickles, and writing tablets. They had no wood, so instead they harvested vast
And they
numbers
haven't
of
contacted
leaves,
me back,
tying
so
them
fuck
together
them.
into bundles,
I started knocking on
cutting them
mason
together
doors.
into mats.
I've been going to temples. I met a couple masons already.
The Sumerians invented or adopted
I
the
don't care.
pottery wheel, the wagon
I'll talk to
wheel,
one of
the
these sides of
plough,
the family.
sailboat.
Somebody's going to talk to me.
Their building used complex arches and domes. They worked out how to cast metal, such as copper and later bronze.
And from what I've heard,
And the Sumerians were also avid
the
mathematicians.
Hopi
They developed
tribal
complex
council
systems of measurement.
wisdom holders, which are the ones I've dealt with, aren't the real wisdom holders. Although they have confirmed for me that, yeah, they're fucking Hebrew and they're originally the sons of Cain. They wrote down this shit when they were in Giza. I've actually got a copy of it, and I show it in 2 different videos. The Hopi prophecy before it even became the Mayan prophecy. It was written in Giza by the Hopi tribe when they spelled their name differently, but pronounced it the same. How you doing there, Jay Banks? I don't know what you would say wild goose chase for. I learned something every step of the way.
As well as methods for dividing, multiplying, and calculating angles, even writing down first ever multiplication.
I negotiated tribes to move to the Navajo lands
We
off of
actually
the coasts
used
that were
Sumerian
having
mathematics
mass
every day.
visions of drowning.
It was the Sumerians who
You
divided time
know, that's
into
not
minutes
exactly a
and
wild
seconds
goose
we
chase.
still use. And since their number system worked on a base of 60 rather than our system of 10, that's why we have 60 minutes in an hour. The reason for using 60 as the base of the number system is...
See, here's the thing. What this is all about right here, right now, is these gatekeepers and wisdom holders opening a peace meeting with Mother Earth and her minions, which they have aggressed against for centuries. If Mom forced it, it wouldn't be much of a peace meeting, would it? So she's asked me to assist, and that's what I'm doing. I've been trying to bring together these 2 fucking families that have been fighting and using us as death fodder and cannon fodder for too long to stop and go home and heal their planet. Because gold's not going to do it. The healing of their planet requires their chests just like ours. It's physics, it's creation, it's universal. It's their planet too. That's why their planet's sick and making them sick. That's why their atmosphere is poisoned. Because they lost their symbiotic relationship with their planet because they fight over each other and they've got presidents instead of mother and father ruling over them. That's the problem of creation here, and they created the problem here. They divided us. We are not to be divided. We're singular. We're healers. We work for one purpose. That's to heal and protect all of nature on Mother Earth, including each other, in a symbiotic cooperative relationship. Straight from the heart, our electron magnet, we shut our mouth when we talk. And that's real. That's the reality of it. I've proven all that. Proven it. It ain't theory. That's the whole beautiful thing about this. It fits everything from the atomic to you to the galactic. And I wasn't even looking for it when I found it. I really wasn't. I had never looked at a fucking Egyptian hieroglyph before. And I was in an interview. Somebody brought one up there and I read it. I thought he had drawn it with his girlfriend, Bobby Maverick, Relentless Maverick. Brought it to the interview on WSO. I'd never seen one before in my life. And I saw everything that was on that one, except for that fucking metal plate. And I didn't know we had a heart magnet. That shit told me. I learned shit. I was like, holy fuck. Yeah, I thought I was crazy because I was reading fucking hieroglyphs for a while. Now a lot of people can. Anybody can. It's pretty simple language, actually. I've been sending people to Scientific League. You've been to Scientific League, seen the motion of everything and field defined. That's one hell of a 28 minutes. Take that gold plane with you. You'd be like, damn, that's not pretty. That's schematic. It's how that thing works. Globally, we were drawing. It's pretty overwhelming. I understand that. But I mean, you gotta, if you want to know it, you're going to go know it. I'm not going to hand it to you. I promise you that. I put tens of thousands of hours into this, and then I put it on video form, and that's as good as you're going to get from me. Individually handling everybody. It's not my responsibility to educate you. I just drew you a map, and you're going to have to fucking do it. Myself, I'm going to bed. Y'all have a good evening or a good day.